Hey y'all, welcome back to the Game Changers podcast. Hope everyone's doing all right on this wonderful, wonderful day whenever you're listening to this podcast. We have a very special guest coming on today, but before we get started, we have some very interesting news that happened this week. So, my news, I'll start off because again is in my world of gymnastics. So this past weekend was the Core Hydration Classic, which is one of the meets that kind of leads up to the Olympics. There's the Olympic trials and other competitions. I was never an elite gymnast, so if any elite gymnasts are listening to this and is like, "Oh my gosh, that's wrong," that's why. But basically, there are a lot of meets and competitions that lead up to the Olympics, and you have to qualify, and the Olympic Committee kind of decides who's going to be the four competitors that will be in the Olympics, who will compete for Team USA. And so there's a lot of competitions that kind of lead up to that. With that being said, there was one of those competitions happened this weekend, and so the best of the best, Gabby Douglas was there. And if any of you guys were gymnastics fans growing up, she won Olympic gold in 2012. So let's just do that math. She won it over a decade ago, and she is coming back, and she competed one event. Unfortunately, she did fall 3 times on bars. There were a lot. The vibe was off. I don't know what it was, but the vibe was off, and so a lot of people fell on bars. But she fell 3 times and then pulled out of the competition. She did still qualify for the next competition, however, though. But she was there. Simone Biles, of course, was there. Our really good friend Kayla DeCello was there. She competed and qualified to the next round. Suni Lee from Auburn, as well as Trinity Thomas from Florida, Leanne Wong from Florida. A lot of gymnasts, big names. Suni Lee is the reigning champ, the Olympic gold medalist from the last Olympics. Simone obviously won it 2 Olympics ago. Big names, they all qualified, which was nice. But so yeah, that's the big news is that, and it was crazy. It was Gabby pulled out and she still made it. So pretty exciting stuff. I'm excited to watch the next one and see who the final 4 are. There are a lot of really good picks. Definitely biased. I want Kayla to make it. She was first alternate the last Olympics, and they all work really hard, but again, very biased. So that's my news. Luke, you got anything for me?
Yeah, I actually have a little bit. Could be a while. We'll see how long I can talk for. So first I have golf. There was a major this weekend. It was the PGA Championship of Valhalla in Louisville, Kentucky. Um, and it was a pretty big event. Like there's only 4 majors a year, so it's one of the 4 times that the live golfers and the PGA golfers play against each other. Um, and because of that, it brings extra like tension. But they're all kind of friends with each other still. But it brings extra tension, and you get to see guys who you haven't seen play in a couple. Only time you get to see them play is in the majors because they're on live. Um, so that was a good tournament. It was the course, to my opinion, played a little too easy. When Shoffley won at 21 under,
Yeah.
that is the lowest score in major championship history. So that just shows you how low that score was. There was 2 guys who shot the lowest score in a single round this week. So that's another thing. Um, and like 21 under shouldn't really, in my opinion, be shot in a major championship. It's supposed to be the 4 hardest golf
No.
tournaments you'll ever play. And the fact that I mean, the rain didn't help. It did rain for 2 straight days beforehand and during the tournament, so that's going to soften up the golf course and make it way easier to play. But still, the fact that it
21 is a
did play
lot.
that hard, that easy is just yeah, it's not. That's why I like the U.S. Open.
Totally
It is the
agree.
hardest golf tournament they will ever play, and you get to see them make bogeys. Like that's to me, that's makes it golf fun to watch because yes, they're the best in the
Hmm.
world, but I see them do well every tournament. I want to see them struggle once in a while. Um,
Yeah, make it a
so yeah, that
challenge.
was that. Bryson was second. He shot 20 under. But Shoffley won by one and shot 21 under. Um,
Crazy.
yep. I did find out other golf news that Scotty Scheffler's arraignment date got moved back to June 3rd. Um, so there's that.
So
And
charges weren't dropped.
then they have not been dropped yet. There's a rumor that they may get dropped, but they have not been
Okay.
dropped yet. Um,
Gotcha.
and then you've got some college baseball news. College baseball,
Ooh.
the season is technically over. So the only thing
Regular season,
left for
yes.
college baseball is the conference tournaments this week, and then on Sunday they have the um, selection Sunday to select the 64 teams that play, or 68 teams, I believe, 68 teams that play in the College World Series or the NCAA tournament, and then there's 16 or 18, something like that, 16 regionals of four, which then the winners of each regional play in a super regional, and then the final eight go to
Yep.
Omaha and play in the College World Series. So that's coming up.
Yes.
Um, and
Yeah,
then
and
with some college,
a little side note. Unfortunately, my Gamecocks are not ranked. They did get swept this past weekend by the Volunteers, Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee is ranked number one. So, yeah, although Kentucky was the regular season champion, so good for them.
in the SEC, yeah.
Honestly, yeah, kind of shocked me a little bit, but considering it's the SEC champs, I'm a little surprised they beat Tennessee, but they did give us a run for our money when we played them. So definitely got some good
Mm-hmm.
talent, some really good arms. So I'm excited to watch. But yeah, all of the college World Series and everything. I'm so excited to watch it.
Yeah, it is the best time of year, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
For me, is watching college baseball and then watching in
Yeah,
Omaha. Like
absolutely. I'm
it's
going to be
literally
glued to the TV.
it's a month and a half of the best college baseball you can possibly see. Like I vividly
Mm-hmm.
remember Tommy White hitting the walk-off grand slam against Wake Forest to send them to the national championship series in Omaha last year. Like I vividly remember it. Like we were
Oh, it
sitting
was
on the
it was
couch and
insane.
Dad was like, "Don't give him a pitch to hit. He's going to hit a home run." And he gave him a pitch to hit. He gave him a home run, and he hit a home run. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's so much fun to watch. And then on the other side, there's college softball. They've already had their selection Sunday. They've already had their regionals this weekend. Um, so there's been some big news with that. There was two upsets that are notable. Baylor upset their regional. They were a two seed, I believe, and they made it through to the super regionals. Um, they play fourth ranked Florida. They are unranked. An unranked team made it. Um, and then Arizona is the only other unranked team that made it to supers. So that just shows you that how good it is because there's 16 um, hosts and there's 16 teams that make it to the super regionals and only two that were not ranked made it. So two of the top
Wow.
16. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty big. And then um, Oak or Arkansas was the number 12th seed. That's who Arizona beat, and then Baylor, who I just mentioned, beat Louisiana, who was 8-0 hosting their super regionals in the past, and they beat them twice. Um,
Wow.
and then
That's some.
um,
Yeah.
got to give some love to a Maryland girl. She's from Maryland, from who played for Baylor. She threw 12 innings against UCF, and then threw 224 pitches over the this course of the regional and
Holy
140
moly.
strikes. So that's
Wow.
absurd to me. Um, she only threw
Wow.
64 balls out of 224 pitches, which is amazing. Um, and then yeah, I mean Oklahoma. I thought we were not gonna say I wanted Oklahoma to lose, but I kind of want Oklahoma to lose. They've won the last three national championships. Um,
Yeah. Give
and
someone
of
else a
course they won.
chance.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, like you know what I mean. So they play Florida State, which I'm hoping Florida State. There's 15th in the country, so I'm hoping they can pull something out. But yeah, there it should be a a good weekend of softball this weekend. If anybody is interested in
Yeah.
that, please watch it. That's
Well, they
good.
better be now. He hyped it up. I'm gonna be watching it.
Exactly. Exactly. And then there was a 12 inning game too. That was pretty cool. There was a 12 inning game that lasted
Wow.
4 hours and 30 minutes, which was
Holy
pretty
moly.
amazing how a game can last 4 hours and
And
30
they're pretty
minutes. And one
fast-paced
girl,
games
and
too.
this may have been 2 weeks ago. Yeah, this may have been 2 weeks ago, but there was a Auburn game that went 14 innings, I believe, in their SEC tournament, and the girl threw 199 pitches in one game. Um, I don't know
What's
how
their
your
limit?
arm. I mean, girls, they don't have a limit, but like girls, that it's natural for their arm to like your arm naturally circles in that motion, so it's not gonna
Yeah.
like hurt, so to speak. But the stamina that you have to throw 200 pitches in a singular game is absurd. Um,
Agreed. And it's
so
also like fast-paced. Like it's a fast-paced.
yeah, yeah, like they were. She
Yeah.
didn't lose velo either. She was still throwing 70 miles an hour and a pitch 200.
It's
So
wild.
yeah, it's
And probably majority
it
strikes.
was crazy. Yeah, yep,
Wow. Well, what a
um,
weekend of sports. That was
yeah.
crazy.
There was
It was also
well,
yeah.
there was a fight in NASCAR yesterday. I don't know if you want to hear about this,
What?
but there was a fight.
Oh my god, spill the tea.
Um, so Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Busch, former teammates.
Ricky
They
Bobby? Are
were
you talking about Ricky
teammates
Bobby?
on. No, I'm not talking about Ricky Bobby. If your name first, you're last. Um, no, it was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Busch. They used to be teammates on Joe Gibbs Racing. Um, and I didn't see what happened in the race. I only saw and heard and read about the fight. Um, so Ricky Stenhouse Jr. came up to Kyle Busch's truck, his trailer where his car is located, and they apparently Kyle Busch did something in the race that pissed him off, and uh, didn't hear the audio, didn't see anything, but he did say right before he punched it, he goes, "Watch me," and nails him, and then all hell broke loose. But like fights aren't uncommon in NASCAR. Like they happen when someone like crashes
Yeah.
someone that and the other driver it's like on purpose. Um, but it is uncommon for it to be two former teammates who were friends and um, used to like help each other win, and now they're on different teams because
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Busch left Joe Gibbs. Um, so
Wow. What
yeah,
drama.
yeah, I know,
Some serious
I
drama.
know. Never
Wow.
think you'd see a fight in NASCAR, but yes, you see fights in NASCAR.
I feel
It
like
actually
I feel
happens
like of
pretty
all
often.
sports, that's where I would expect to see a fight. But I don't think I would expect to see it
Yeah,
among the drivers. I feel like in the fans. I don't know. I feel like it's not unlikely. You
yeah,
again, you add alcohol and sports.
yeah. Well, you
I
should.
feel
I want to go on
like
the infield to a NASCAR event just to see what it's like
I did that.
in the
It
infield.
was awesome. Yeah, I worked Darlington and snuck my way down. I totally snuck into the infield and it was awesome. And yeah, I'm not a big NASCAR fan, but that was an unforgettable experience just to be down there with all the sponsors and like, Monster was like, "All
Mm-hmm.
right, do you want to drink?" And I'm like, "I don't like Monster, but okay." And it was it's so loud and just so much energy, but like everyone's chill. Like they're just social. And yeah, it
Yeah.
was a good time. It was a really good time. Fun fact, not NASCAR related, but I did see an accident happen today. There was a car in front of me at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I don't know if it was, there was some sort of, but anyway, I'm behind this car and we're sitting at a red light and we've been sitting there for like quite a minute. And the left turn lanes on like the both sides like go to turn and they're like turning and whatever. And this man just like hits his gas pedal and rams into a girl, poor girl. Her airbags go off, like hits her right back tail light, and his like whole front grill is like dead. And hits her like as if
Yeah.
the light hasn't been red for like 3 minutes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this poor girl was just trying to turn, and he keeps going, and I'm like, you are not about to be. This is
Oh,
not
hit
about
and
a hit.
run.
It's not a hit and run. He kept going, and then he pulled over like he was gonna get onto the um he was going to get on to go
The
onto a
shoulder.
highway. He was on in the exit, and he was going into an exit to get onto the highway, and I think he realized, I don't know if it was like a delayed reaction, but like pulled over. There wasn't a shoulder, there was just grass, and so he pulled over on the grass, and like I passed him, and I'm like, I hope that you stay there because a hit and run, such a bad look. Um, so anyway, he pulled over to the side of the
Especially
road. His
against the
grill
wall
was
too. But yes.
done. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But his
Yeah.
like front grill, it was done. He didn't even hit her. Like he hit her hard enough to hurt her. I mean, he stepped on that gas pedal like he had places to be, people to see, things to do. Um, so it was very interesting. Total side note, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I did do some more
don't
research
drive
while we were
safely.
doing this conversation. Yes,
While
please
I
do.
was
That Auburn
babbling.
12 inning game they had a 14 inning game last week. That 12 inning game that I mentioned was in the supers, or it was in the regionals, and they ended at 3 a.m. I don't know why I would want to be playing till
Oh
3 a.m.,
my
but it ended at
gosh.
3 a.m.
Hey, you played at 3
And
a.m.
that
in
was the second
Cooperstown, and
game
that was awesome.
I did. That was the second game they played that day too. So
Oh,
yeah,
those
and they
poor
won.
girls. They
But
probably
yeah,
slept so
playing at
well.
Cooperstown at 12 a.m. That was a crazy experience. That was
No, it was wild.
awesome.
We would like go to sleep at like 6 p.m. and then wake up at 12 to go play a game.
Yeah, because you gotta get the games in. They don't care. You're living there.
They
You're
don't
living
care.
on the property, so they don't care.
Yeah.
You got to get all the games in, all seven.
Cooperstown
So
is great for the players and the parents and the siblings. It's a good time. It was a really
Cooperstown
good
was so
time.
much fun.
Well, it was, yeah.
But trying to think if there's
Yeah,
any
enough
other
about
sports
us.
news.
Yeah, I feel like we've
Um,
been yapping for quite a minute. I think we should get into our
what else?
guest.
What else?
What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. I can't think of anything
I think
else.
it's time for the guest. Well, so
I agree.
given all the sports and school ending and everything happening, this podcast, the part that we're filming right now, obviously, is pretty much, it was this week, but the podcast interview was from last week. So if there's anything mentioned that is a little bit outdated, that would be why. But please enjoy. This is Zach Reuland of College of Charleston men's golf. All right, so we have a very special guest joining us today, College of Charleston golfer Zach Reuland. Welcome to the Game Changers podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How are you? Where are we finding you right now? Are you in Charleston?
I am. I just got back yesterday from a complete airport disaster on the way back from
Oh,
regionals.
Where was
yeah. Their
regionals
storms
at?
were bad.
We were out in West Lafayette, Indiana,
Okay.
basically the middle of nowhere.
How'd it go?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not good for us. It was tough.
No.
Yeah, we're all done. So college career's
What are you gonna do
over.
with all your time?
I don't know. I'm still gonna play golf, so probably just pretty much the same thing, just no academics, which I don't mind.
No, none of
That's
us really
true.
do,
That is
for
true.
sure.
Yeah.
So that was the NCAA regionals, correct?
Yeah, NCAA regionals.
Okay.
And you guys won the regular season. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, sort of. So the way they do it in golf, there's no like regular season title or anything because you really don't play the same schedule as everyone else in our
hmm
conference. So, but we won our conference championship with all the teams there.
That's awesome. And I saw that you won too as well,
I did, yep, yep. Me
individually.
and
Well, congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, it was really cool. I ended up tying with one of my teammates, so we just shared the title, which was
Yeah,
really
why
cool.
not?
They didn't do
Yeah.
a playoff?
Nah, we were like, we're both happy now. Like, let's not play this off and someone be mad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
What
so it
was
kind of
that
worked out
feeling like?
great.
Have you ever won a tournament before, like individually of that magnitude?
Yeah, actually, I won individually at conference my freshman year, and then again my senior year.
Um, so since you're now done, as sad as it is that you've completed your college career, what are your plans for the future, the coming future? Are you planning on going pro, trying to make it on Corn Ferry, Q School, or make it on a tour in Canada or like Asia tour or something like that to find your way into a PGA Tour event?
Yeah, so basically my plan is now, I'm gonna turn pro. I'm pretty much pro now. I haven't played anything yet, but I'm planning this summer to do some like local smaller stuff,
hmm
and then prepare for PGA Tour Canada qualifying school in December. So
Okay.
basically just going to try and basically get better at golf, get better, get in better shape, and hopefully make it out to Canada in the summer of next year.
Yeah, that'd be good because not many people who don't know about golf, like only like diehard fans know that there's other ways than Q School and Corn Ferry to get on to the PGA Tour. Um,
Yep.
so I think like PGA Tour Canada, I feel like is not the equivalent, but it's really close to Corn Ferry because there's some really really good golfers on the Canada Tour. So I think that's awesome. I think that hopefully I think you can qualify with how good you've played in your career at college. But yeah, I wish you all the best of luck and hopefully you get through their Q school and make the tour.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. PGA Tour Canada, I think with how it is now, all the guys that are graduating college so good. Everyone's kind
Hmm.
of starting off there. So it'll be really fun to
Yeah,
kind of see
because
the guys we've already played against and
only like the top 20, right, get the PGA Tour U cards out of
yeah,
college.
so it's like yeah, it's like top five is gets a Corn Ferry card. Um and I think top 10 through 20 get America's Tour, which is Canada and Latin America.
Hmm.
So I mean it's tough to finish in that
Yeah,
top 20.
no, I agree.
You got a
Yeah,
lot of
so
competition.
Oh yeah.
yeah, golf's
So how
getting
did
more and
you,
more popular.
when you were younger, did your parents play golf? Like, how did you kind of get into the sport?
Yeah, my dad did. So I live on a golf course at home. So, he would just go out and practice. I mean, my dad's not great, but like he played a little bit. So I would just kind of go out with him and once I realized I wasn't going to be that good at any other sport, I was like, well, let's just go into this.
Did you
Did
play
you
any
try
other
any other
sports
sport?
growing up?
Yeah, I mean like basketball, football, but I mean, um, I was tiny, so I didn't really basketball. I didn't really have much of a future. Football, I was too soft. So
No contact. You picked
Yeah,
a no contact sport, which is perfect.
exactly, yeah, something I
yes.
wouldn't get
Yeah,
harmed.
Hmm.
exactly. That's
Yep.
awesome. And so, are you from Charleston?
No, I grew up in Rock Hill, South Carolina, like just south of
Okay.
Charlotte.
What made you pick Charleston?
You know, I would vacation here in the summers when I was younger, and it just kind of worked out. The coach hit me up, and we built a really good connection, and it just kind of fit me. I wanted to stay in state, so it was between here and South Carolina, and I just like the fit here better.
What was the recruiting process like? Did you so? I guess kind of like walk me through that process of I guess like in high school. Like, was it competitive? Did you have a lot of people reaching out to you? Like, what did that look like?
Yeah, so with golf, it's a little bit different. Like most sports in high school, like you play on a high school team, and then basically the coaches watch you at those events. But golf's pretty much completely different. It's like you play in your own individual junior events in the summer, and like honestly during school as well. Just because the fields are better, you play better players.
Yeah.
So I just you play in those, and they have those junior rankings. So the better you play in those events, the better you're ranked, and the better you're ranked, the coaches pretty much just come to you. So I think it's changed so much since when I was a freshman, but usually like
Yeah.
I want to say it was like summer of your junior year they could reach out to you and then
Yeah,
they
that
would
was
they
the
would just
same for
watch you.
me.
They would yeah,
Hmm.
so they just come to the tournaments and watch you there and then you get in
Yeah.
contact, set up
I
visits and stuff.
played I played golf all 4 years of high school. I play baseball in college now, at a
Okay.
D3 in Maryland. But the there was a kid on our team that was top 50 in the AJGA rankings, and he was getting recruited by Power Five schools, but not a single coach would show up to any single one of our matches. They would just recruit him based off of his
Yeah.
AJGA ranking. And I'm like, you don't know the kid's swing. You may have seen his swing on film, but you don't know like how he plays, how his course management is, anything you need to fix with him. So just recruiting him based off of his AJGA ranking is a little, I don't know, I think it's a little odd, but that's
Yeah.
golf. You can't really go out. The coaches can't go out and watch like 4 or 5
It's
rounds to of like different players. Like with baseball, they can go watch a game and then go travel and watch another game, or see more than one guy there. You're only going to see the 4 guys in that group that he's in if you're going to watch him play all 18. So yeah,
yeah, it's definitely a different process for sure. I mean, And honestly, sometimes you'll see it where a coach will be watching some kid, and then he's paired up with another guy, and they're like, "Wow, this kid's better," so I'm gonna
Yeah.
recruit this kid.
Yep,
So
Yeah.
it's
Same.
kind of
completely.
how it goes.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
actually how I got recruited. I
Um,
wasn't. They were there for another kid, and
mhm.
I was playing against that team that the kid was on, and the coach was like, "I saw you," and I was like, "I had to have you." I was like, "All right, sweet."
Yeah,
Oh, that's one of my
it's the
favorite
way it
parts about
goes
recruiting
sometimes.
is like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that's just how it works. As I'm sure half the people on every, I mean, athletic organizational like team, absolutely is recruited like not on purpose. Um, so okay, so golf is one of those sports that like, I mean, you can play like pickup basketball, but everyone plays golf. You know, especially in the South, everyone plays golf. What's it like playing with your friends and not like, are you still competitive?
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, honestly, none of my friends are really that great at golf, so it's more just hilarious to watch them just kind of hit it all over the place.
Pure
And
entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. If we do a match, I mean, I'll give them a few strokes to make it even, but usually
Yeah.
it's just pure entertainment.
Are you a plus handicap?
Yeah, I haven't looked at it in a while, but maybe +5, +6.
Damn. I could only dream of
Yeah.
being plus anything.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
mean
a
it's
golf
hard.
fan? Do you
Yeah, I'd
follow
say
golf or are
so.
you just good at it? Like a lot of people that I know are usually just like good at their sports and they're not like huge fans of it until, the Masters comes around or the All-Star game comes around or the Super Bowl or whatever. But um so do you follow golf often?
Um, kind of like I mean, there's so many events. Like I'm not watching it every week, but say like this week I'm watching it's major. Like
Hmm.
I'll do that. I love the Masters, so a little bit, but I'm not like a
Yeah.
full blown fanatic, I guess.
Yeah. I watch
Yeah.
the four majors like religiously, but like the other events that are around, it's just like I'll probably watch Sunday just to see the finish more than anything.
Yeah, and like just from playing golf, watching golf's pretty boring. I mean, it just is.
How do you okay, so yes, golf especially like if you're not a golf person, golf can seem incredibly boring. How
Yeah.
how do you I mean 18 holes I mean that's a round for you. It's that just you have to do that all the time. Are you ever bored or are you just kind of locked in and it doesn't feel as long when you're actually playing it rather than watching it?
Yeah, usually like I mean we're out there forever. I mean it's 5 hours, but when you're actually playing, it doesn't seem that long
It
because it's
doesn't.
it's
Oh,
just
I can imagine.
when you're hitting most like as long as you're not really waiting a ton on like a group in
Hmm.
front of you, it usually moves really quick.
Yeah, I can imagine. Whenever we play golf, it always goes a little faster than watching it.
Yeah,
Plus, I mean, you're actually like doing something, so it makes sense.
yeah, and you think
In turn, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say you think 5 of those hours. I mean most of it you're walking to a ball, trying to find your ball, or hitting your ball. There's maybe
Oh,
like
you definitely get your steps
45
in.
minutes of it you're waiting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh, yeah, I can't even imagine. Um, yeah. What do you think is your I guess your strength? So are do you drive well? Like is your putting game super like what do you think that your strength is if someone asked you?
Um, I'd say I hit it pretty long. Say my length. I can play a lot of longer courses a lot better than most. And then I'm pretty streaky with putting. So when it's on, it's really on. And so usually if I'm putting well, like it'll be a good week. But if it's not, then it's just kind of it is what it is. But
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
I drive well. My putting game is pretty pretty crap.
she
yeah,
has she has
well that's where you get the
no
most.
feel. She has no feel
No
whatsoever.
feel.
Yeah, that's the hardest part though. I mean, I'll take a
It
week off if I
is.
lose some feel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
that's the short game is in my opinion the first thing you have to go back to when you're taking any sort of time off because the
Yep,
feel is
for sure.
the first thing you lose.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah.
Chipping
Is
and putting. That's what.
yes. Is there
Oh, don't even get
anything
me started on shipping.
is there
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
that
I actually
you
can't. I don't know how
would
to do it.
is there anything that you would recommend to any high school or freshmen in college to get better or stay locked in, or like to help them throughout the seasons as they move forward?
Yeah, I think what has helped me the most is honestly, it's gonna sound bad, but not caring. Because golf
True.
is it's not a you're never gonna hit every shot good. I mean, you're gonna hit some that are absolutely disgraceful. So a lot of it is just being able to be like, okay, like that was bad, but you know, we're gonna go find it. We're gonna hack this out. Whatever happens, it's out of my control.
Hmm. Yeah,
So it's
I
just
feel
kind of
like
letting loose is the
yeah, if
biggest thing.
you don't care about the shot that you just hit, you will compound your mistakes less, and you'll be able
Yeah,
to scramble easier and make pars. I mean, even if you make a bogey, it's better than a double or a triple because you're trying to take off more than you could chew because you're so mad about the last shot that you need to make up for it. So I 100% agree with that. I think that's good advice.
yeah,
And it's such a mental game. Like truthfully, like it really is such a mental game. You hit a really crappy shot, and now you're like, oh, I'm gonna hit another one. But if you very, it's hard to stay present when you hit so many shots a day, and there's no one else you
yeah,
can blame. Like there's no team. It's just you. But it is completely out of your control. It is an outdoor sport. You're talking about a ball, and you've got wind, and you've got you know. I mean, for example, they're playing today in the rain. I mean, that's totally different as well. So it's all about how the course plays and everything. So if you really put it in perspective and just take it for what it is, I can see how that would help a lot.
yeah. Because it's never gonna be as pretty as you want it to be. It's gonna be ugly 95% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you realize that you're better than the average human being, like you put in the hours, most people just, pick up golf, right? They're like, I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to go hit balls today, right? Like you put in the hours, you put in the work. It has to show. I mean, you
Yeah,
just
and
practice more than
a lot
most.
of it's about perspective. I mean,
Hmm.
it's like, oh, I shot 75. It's the end of the world. It's like it's just really not. I mean, you
No.
got so many rounds of golf to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
And let's be honest here for a second. I, for example, not even on the same playing field as you, but I don't keep score when I play golf
Not even on the same
because
planet, but yeah, good try.
Yeah,
no, like
yeah,
completely different planets. And I'm not even trying to compare, but like the average human being is probably like me, where they're like, I'm not keeping score because I would like to keep it fun because otherwise it's going to be like 110. And that's disgraceful for golf. Yeah, yeah. But no, we're going to keep it at 110 average.
all right, all right.
Um, right. Yeah, we're just going to keep it there. So yeah, 75 is great. I mean, our dad is very similar in that he's definitely a mental sport for him, and he'll shoot 75 and he'll be like, oh, that was a really crappy round, and in the grand scheme of things, he's going to play again tomorrow. So I mean, just like you, like you're going to
Exactly.
play again
Yep.
tomorrow, and yeah, and you're going pro, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, but yeah, it is. It's gonna be fun.
Do you have any
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
do you have any sponsors that have reached out to you yet to help with the costs of the travel and the entry fees into tournaments?
I do not yet. I'm trying to figure out, how to attack that honestly, because it's all new to me. I'm trying to, figure out where I'm gonna go, where I'm gonna live. So a lot of it's just, yeah, kind of up in the air right now.
So did you just graduate?
Yeah, I graduated 2 weeks ago,
Oh my gosh.
or not
So
even.
you're entering the adult world and also trying to like go in the next level of your career.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple weeks.
You're like, don't remind me.
Yeah, well, it's like you're still in. I'm still been in season, so it's like kind of like. I mean, yesterday was my real day. I was like, wow, like I'm actually done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
kind
got
of
to be a
nuts.
weird feeling.
Yeah, it
What was
is.
it like leaving your team, your coaches, your school after 4 years of? I mean, they helped you get better. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of emotional for one. I mean, it's like basically for last 4 years, it's pretty much been my identity being a player here, and I've made a bunch of friends. Like all the guys on my team, I consider them brothers. So it's kind of just been a lot of goodbyes and a lot of like man, I'm gonna miss this.
Is anyone else on your team you think gonna go to the next level?
Yeah, I think we got maybe 2 or 3. I think that have a very good chance.
That's good.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good.
Playing against them one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Hopefully.
number one goal.
Um,
Absolutely.
so I don't know if you saw this morning. I think the whole world has. Did you see
I'm sure.
Scotty?
Yeah.
Did you see Scotty this morning?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely nuts.
I
It was
can't believe
nuts.
he's still like.
I swear it's a full moon.
Yeah, I thought the craziest thing was after all that, birdie's the first hole.
I know he goes out. He hits his first
Right?
shot in the rough. He hits his first shot in the rough, and then lays up, and then puts it to like 5 feet and drains the putt for birdie. I'm like, dude, you just got arrested
Yeah.
through 2 hours ago. Like,
Right.
he got an
Well,
abbreviated
he's
warm up. He
getting
hit
into
like
the
20
car, and I
balls.
remember. Yeah, he gets into the car, like gets out of the car 50 minutes before his tee time, and I'm like, there's no shot he can lock in. Locks in, gets a birdie. I'm like, if that doesn't
Yep.
prove that he's the best golfer in the world, I don't really know what does.
Yeah, and I think that's why, just because he's so good at like just being in it, like just 100% just in the present, doesn't care about what's going on around him, could not care less, and I think that's why he's so good.
I
Yeah.
agree, and he's not emotional. Like even like they
No.
said so many times, like even keeled. Which again,
Yeah.
like kind of goes back to your advice to younger golfers. Like not caring is almost the same. I mean, it's similar to like being even keeled. Like it's like one
Yeah.
shot at a time, like one hole at a time. And that's probably why he's been so good.
Yeah, because you never see his emotions change.
Never.
Ever.
Which it's like all those guys that are top 5 in the world. I mean, you never see them like freak out.
No.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Yeah, it's always the ones trying to get there.
It's amazing how they don't freak out, because I'll freak out if I hit a. I mean, I'm a horrible golfer, 15 handicap, but I'll still freak out if I hit a bad shot. So like I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the fact that they miss like a 3-footer for birdie or a 3-footer for par, and then go in the next hole and birdie it, could never. I don't know how you just stay even keeled after you just lost a stroke that could end up like meaning something in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been working on it for 4 years, and I still don't have it figured out.
Yeah.
So.
And it might take plenty. I mean, I'm sure. Do you feel like it's like you're constantly growing, constantly getting better? Like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think the difference between freshman me and me now is pretty crazy.
In what way?
Honestly, like golf wise, it's not a ton different. It's pretty much all on the mental side of it. My coach is always grinding on me pretty hard to just chill out. So I feel like I've come a long way. I used to just be prone to an absolute meltdown, and now I try not to let anything get to me.
That's good, yeah. I had some friends on the
sure.
golf team in high school that would snap clubs in the middle of the round, and I'm like, guys, like,
Yeah, exactly.
take a second.
That was
You've
that was me.
matured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, look at you now.
What
Oh,
is
You're
your
exactly.
going to.
typical week? What does your typical week look like? Like, either I guess before a match, or even just like a regular week of practice. Like, what do you kind of do to practice during the week?
For me, it's a lot of like fundamental stuff. I'm not really changing a ton with my mechanics swing wise. So a lot of it looks like just a lot of golf's alignment and just being in the right spots. So a lot of it for me is just kind of going back to the fundamentals and making sure everything's in the right spot.
That's awesome. That's really cool to hear.
It's about just trying to keep it simple at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, while we wrap it up, we have some rapid fire questions that we always do at the end with some of our guests. So we have about 3 to 5 questions for you, and we just ask them. So first is, what is your favorite TV show?
Ooh, I'd say probably Suits is number 1.
Okay.
Ooh.
Good answer.
I tried to get into Suits, and I couldn't get past the first episode, and I really wanted to watch it, so I gotta try again.
Yeah, you got to
Skip
get
the
in on
first
that.
episode.
I should just skip the first episode, yeah. All right, next is, who's your favorite golfer?
I think I'm gonna go Max Homa. I really like him. He's hilarious. I love his swing.
Yeah.
He's
though.
got a
It's a
really
nice
Just
good
a great
swing.
all
It's
around guy.
good tempo.
Yeah, it's so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
So smooth. And the last one is, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully on the PGA Tour.
Yeah,
I see it. I can see it.
I see it.
I believe it.
We're hoping for
Yes.
you. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Hope so.
All right. Well, Zach, it was fantastic having you on the podcast. Thank you for making time for us, and we wish you all the luck in your future. Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's nice meeting you guys.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
It was nice meeting you too. All right, guys, that was a fantastic interview. I had a great time, and Luke and we had a really great time interviewing and getting to know Zach. I'm excited to see him in the future, see where he gets to, and ready to see him in one of these tournaments we see on TV. So definitely excited to see him succeed in the future. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I think
so
he can do it. I
um,
think he can get there.
I think he can do it too. Considering his numbers and how he competed in college, I think it's definitely doable. And his path that he's choosing to go to, going Canadian, I think that's a good choice. All right, so going along with golf, my little fact of the day, if you will, is about golf balls. So, did you know that studies have shown that a golf ball with no visible damage should be able to last 7 rounds of golf? As soon as it starts to feel rough, it should be replaced. But it does
Yes,
fail to mention
I
that
disagree with this.
you will probably not get through 7 rounds of golf before losing that ball, because the average golfer loses 2 balls
Also,
per round.
If you put it in the sand, if you hit a ball in the sand more than like 2 or 3 times, it starts to get scuffs on it.
Yep.
If you hit a ball on a cart path, it'll scuff. If you hit a tree, it'll scuff. If you hit the ball just too many times,
the
it'll
rough.
scuff.
Yeah.
It'll scuff. 7 rounds is generous. I would say 3 for a ball.
Well, if you're not a pro, I don't. The reason that was more of a fun fact for me, because I'm not a great golfer. I have a lot of fun, don't keep score, but I am not a great golfer. So that was news to me, because I use balls until I lose them. And then my dad takes them out of the water, and then I use those balls. So I don't actually know. There's probably a whole science on it. And the more you know. So
technically balls that are in the water for a certain amount of time, you shouldn't play because they're waterlogged or something. I don't know. I don't believe
we're gonna pretend that that's the reason my ball doesn't go straight.
I'm not good enough to care, so yeah.
We're gonna assume that that's the reason my golfing is. That's why my putting game isn't great. That's what we're gonna assume. So anyway, thank you all so much for joining. We had a great time, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. And we will see you next week when Game Changers returns.
See ya.